Hello friends, welcome back to my channel. I have been wanting to do this video for a while now, but I just, you can't get that phone. So I wanted to address the question that I sometimes get about whether or not we are going to have more kids or if we are done. What? Here's a ball. Whether we are done or if we're planning to have more kids. So if you followed our journey previously, you will know that getting our two little rascals here was not easy. Everly, what is going on? You're ready for a nap. You ready for a nap? Okay. It's not funny. It's not funny. Everly, I'm trying to do video. I'm trying to do a video. I think you're tired. All right, let's try this again. Everly is down for a nap now, so I can actually talk. So, are we going to have more kids? We struggled for many, many years to have our babies because of the genetic condition that we carry. And we ended up doing IVF with PGD, which is genetic testing on our embryos. So if you're interested in that part of our journey, and maybe you're new to my channel, be sure to go back and check it out. I documented our entire IVF and PGD journey. I also have videos on our babies and the genetic condition that we carry, and basically our whole journey up until having our children, and then a little bit of them as well over the past 3 years. So I always thought I would have 2 kids, and I always, like many other people, thought it would be amazing to have a boy and then a girl. And obviously that's what we have, but it didn't happen quite as easily as we would have hoped or expected. And I do have 3 angel babies, and we did have a miscarriage as well. So our 3 angel babies, we had Liam, Nate, and Bria. So I did have 2 boys and a girl before we had our earth babies. So I don't really just see it as having a boy and then a girl and having the perfect family. I see it as we have angel babies, we have our earth babies, but they're all our babies. So I always kind of thought I wanted 2 kids, and I was good with that. And I still am, and most days, honestly, I feel like that's all I can handle is 2, and I wonder how the heck people handle having more than 2, especially if they're really close in age. But the part that I guess bothers me the most is that the decision isn't really ours on how many kids we're going to have, because it's not just a process of, you know, yes, we're gonna have another one, or no, we're not. So I guess my answer is no, we are not having any more kids. We are done. But the main reason is because we have no embryos left. So we did IVF with PGD, like I mentioned already, and we ended up with 13 embryos that we sent for testing. And after testing, there were 4 healthy embryos that did not carry our genetic condition and that had healthy chromosomes. So we had 4 embryos, and out of those 4 transfers, well, it was 3 transfers, because with Everly's we transferred our last 2 and only she took, the other one did not. So out of those 4 embryos, we ended up with 2 healthy babies. So the decision kind of is out of our hands unless we wanted to do IVF all over again. And it's not an easy process, especially when you are doing the genetic testing. It costs about twice as much as doing just regular IVF when you're getting into testing for genetic conditions and chromosomes and all of that. So if we did want more children, we would have to go through the whole IVF process again, which honestly, the IVF process itself wasn't horrible for me, aside from all of the anxiety and stress around not knowing and not knowing if we would get healthy embryos and all of that. It's kind of the mental part of it more than anything that was difficult. And so we're not willing to go through that again. If we didn't get one or both of our babies from this round of IVF, we absolutely would have done it again if we needed to. But we are very content and happy with our little family. Like I kind of said already, the biggest thing that bothers me is just that it's not really our choice, even though, you know, if we had just had kids easily back when we started trying in 2013, then we may have just had two and been done like I always thought I would be, or we may have had a third, just, you know, it's hard to say because that would have been we would have been younger. It would have been a different time in our lives. Now we feel too old to have more anyways. I know people a lot older than us have kids, but Dave just turned 40. I'm 37. I'm just 37. And it's just, you know, at this point, we're done. We're good. And the other thing with doing another round of IVF, aside from the cost as well, would be that at the most, we would only have one more baby, which we're good with not having. But if we did do it because we wanted one more, there's a good chance we would end up with more than one healthy embryo. And so then we would be faced with what to do with all of our other embryos. And we did not want to be in that position. The way things worked out from this round of IVF, it worked out perfectly that we do not have tons of leftover embryos that we have to decide what to do with. And, you know, we're just kind of done with that part of our lives, which also is a little bit odd. It feels kind of weird because my life has revolved around being pregnant, getting pregnant, you know, stressing about the genetic conditions and the doctors and all of that, and then having our baby. So really life for the past 7 years has revolved around that. Will the transfers work? Will I ever be a mom? You know, all of those things. And so not having that stress has been really nice, just being able to, you know, enjoy the kids now and just not really put it behind us, because it's still something I think about a lot. And of course, the babies are still in a very important part of our lives, and we talk about them and we celebrate their birthdays and things like that, but it's not something that is at the forefront of my mind all of the time anymore. So that's kind of where we're at. And also I had a C-section with Beckett because he was big and I wasn't dilating. And then they said that I had a narrow pelvis, so wouldn't be able to deliver him naturally. So I had a C-section with him, and so they did do a C-section with Everly as well. Also, I was a very high risk for placenta accreta because I had that after delivering Bria back, our last baby that we lost. And so the risk of placenta accreta is really high if I were to have more pregnancies. And when we did the C-section with Everly, I had my tubes removed, because an accidental pregnancy, when you have a condition like ours, is not just like, okay, I guess we'll deal with it and have another baby. It's like a very good chance that the baby would be affected and we would be forced with a decision to terminate again, because the condition we carry is 100% fatal. So an accidental pregnancy would not be good in our case. And so it was just easiest to have my tubes removed. They didn't just tie them, they actually removed them. It's just one of the ways that they do it now. And if we ever were to change our mind and have another baby, which we're not going to, but if we did, we would be doing IVF anyways, and you don't need tubes to do that, because of they, you know, stimulate and they go in and retrieve the eggs. You don't actually need tubes to do IVF. So it really didn't affect anything if we were to ever change our minds in the future, which, like I said, our age is not really on our side anymore after everything taking so long. So that is it. We are super grateful for the support of everyone in our journey. We are especially grateful for our 2 children, Beckett and Everly. Beckett is 3 now. He was 3 in January, so he was 3 a couple of months ago, and Everly just turned 1. And you know, we're excited for all the fun things that we will be able to do with them post-COVID, of course, when we're actually allowed to do things again. But we're very content with our family now, and I just wanted to update you because I know people sometimes wonder if we are planning to have more, and if we were, how that would work. But we are not. We're good, and we're very grateful for what we have, because there was a time when I didn't know if we would have any babies at all. So thank you so much for following our journey. Go back and check out my IVF videos. If you are going to be doing IVF or you know somebody who is, feel free to send them to my channel and check out the whole process. And thank you again for joining. Make sure to hit subscribe, and I will try to continue doing a little bit more frequent videos for you guys, because I've kind of been slacking on that lately. All right, have a great day.